guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have, well, he can say his name and what he does.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me. My name is Lucas, and I play guitar.
Nice, nice, awesome. My first question, Lucas, since you're kind of a solo artist, how did you get started out in music and like what made you come to the conclusion of doing like solo music?
Well, I've been playing guitar for 10 years now.
Oh
I'm
wow.
24, so I started when I was 14. And with this solo music, I play kind of like the new wave of progressive guitar-driven music that's really popular right now. In the same vein as like intervals, Chon, that kind of stuff. And I feel like a common kind of occurrence in this genre is that a lot of these artists start writing with metal.
Yeah.
And that's definitely where I started. That's where my roots lie. I play in a metal band called Skylines,
Oh nice.
and that's how I occupy a lot of my time. And that's kind of where I started, like for the last couple of years, just been trying to write in that genre. Um, Ever since I linked up with my band, though, I had all this spare time, and I just like fell in love with this kind of other world of guitar music where not everything has to have breakdowns, that kind of thing. So I just, like started tackling that kind of stuff, and here we are, a couple years later, about to release an album. So
Awesome, awesome. So my next question, Lucas, since you're from Canada, what are some favorite venues that you like to go see shows at or play shows at? With either group, you know.
yeah. So I actually just went to Toronto
Oh,
like last
nice.
week to go check out Chon on their homie tour.
Yes.
And I caught them at the Mod Club, which was very sweet. It's an awesome venue. It's like Virgin Mobile Mod Club
Okay.
kind of thing. Yeah, it was really cool. I'm from a town, I guess city, like 2 hours outside of Toronto, and we have some
Okay.
pretty cool venues. London, Ontario. So there's one called the Music Hall, which
Okay.
is probably the second biggest venue in the city that I just played with my band Skylines back in February, I believe, and that was a really cool experience for us. Aside from that, if you're from my area, you'll know all the local spots, like all the office, all the small little dive bars that are always fun to play.
So would you say that like Toronto's kind of the biggest kind of like local city in terms of just like shows? Do you go to Toronto a lot to go to shows, or it depends?
Toronto most often gets like if you're a bigger band, especially, you're typically gonna hit Toronto.
Yeah.
Um, it's kind of luckier if like our side cities get those kind of shows. Like there are cities like London, Hamilton,
Yeah.
Windsor
Yeah.
that kind of surround, and like every so often we'll pick up a show that came from Toronto or is on the way to Toronto. But typically, me or a lot of my friends will be driving to Toronto to go see shows.
Okay, okay. Because I was just curious because I do have friends in like Toronto area, and they're
Yeah,
like they're saying that city's always like buzzing. So I'm always curious if like people who kind of live outside there wind up going to Toronto a lot for
definitely.
shows. So next question, Lucas. Maybe you kind of answered it a little bit, but what are some of your musical influences?
It definitely varies. Like I'm influenced by everything. Growing up, some of my favorite bands were like the Fall of Troy.
Oh, awesome!
So I
Yeah,
think that band was pretty pivotal in me kind of getting into this genre. It's a very nice transitional band, but like I said, like my contemporaries like Sean, Intervals, Covet is a great up and coming band that influences me heavily. Save Us from the Archon is another
yes, yeah.
slept on, and I fucking love those dudes. They're so awesome. Aside from that, like I'm influenced by a lot of stuff like outside of even like I don't know what to call it, like progressive music. Like I'm a big hip hop guy. Like I
Oh,
love
nice. Okay.
Kendrick. Got like the Kendrick hoodie.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly, just like different stuff that kind of refreshes the musical palette, if you will. Like stuff that you won't hear in our genre all the time. So yeah, just like whatever.
No, I think that's solid because I definitely, for me, it's like I listen to a bunch of different things as well. So, like, when I have bands on, I like getting different bands from like different genres because they always have different sort of things that make them set apart from other people. But I agree with you on like the whole like Chan, Intervals, Polini, Covet's amazing. So I totally
Those guys are just at the forefront of what we all want to be doing, right? Like
exactly.
you hear them doing it and you're like, okay, like I want to do that but with my own twist to it, with my own vision. So those bands are vital.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And then like I feel like when you're mentioning hip hop, I feel like bands like Polyphia are trying to incorporate like a lot more like electronic parts
Yeah.
into their music.
Yeah,
Even like the new Chan record as well. But I mean, I feel like that is kind of maybe, the direction that they're ultimately going in, and I think it sounds great too. So,
well, that's just what's so cool about progressive music is that it can draw influence from any other genre and still push it forward, right? Like
totally.
you have intervals taking the whole jazz fusion thing and
Yeah.
just push that so hard. You have Chon with, I guess you could call it like lo-fi hip hop.
Yeah, kind
Um,
of, yeah.
they take that and they push it, and then you have Polyphia just going like full blown like dubstep kind of stuff, like whatever you want to call that. But it all works, right? Like it's all unique and innovative in its own way.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But next question, Luke, is kind of in relation to the last one. What have been some bands that you've been jamming more recently?
Outside of what we were just talking about, like I tend not to try to listen to too much at once. I'm kind of weird
Yeah.
that way. On the topic of like hip hop producers, there's an album that I got turned on to by a friend. The artist is called Thundercat.
Yes, yes,
He's
yes.
bassist, and his album Drunk is phenomenal. It's a really cool record. Um, Aside from that, I can't really say like obviously the new Tron record is in
Yeah.
rotation. Just because I'm still trying to digest that. Trying to learn riffs off that is just gonna be the end of me. But um, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm listening to a lot of my own stuff, which sucks because like I'm in the master phase of the album, so I'm just listening to all these different mixes and masters, and it's kind of driving me crazy. But yeah, it is what it is.
No, I totally get you. That's I mean like that. I mean you might as well put your stuff at the forefront because that's obviously what we're trying to aim
Yeah,
for. So
yeah,
definitely excited to see what's going on next. I got to check out maybe like a track or two that you sent me last night. So
yeah. Nice.
and it was solid. So definitely stoked for everybody else to hear it. But
Awesome, man.
next question, Lucas, is a fun one. If you could pick a song to cover, what song would it be?
Ah, that's good. Um, hmm, Probably something by Drake.
Ooh, okay,
Honestly.
okay.
Just because like his beats are so atmospheric and melodic as it is, but the vocal lines are so simple. So I feel like I could have a lot of fun doing that either with the band or on my own. Um, what's that new one he does? Passion fruit.
Yeah, it's Passion Fruit. I
That'd
think
be
it
a good.
is.
Like, see, it's like nice and breezy, easy,
Yeah,
melodic song. I don't know. I'd go with something like that.
I could get down with that. Honestly, that would be kind of sick. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
dude.
that would be awesome. Just cause like I not trying to reference Paramore, but I saw that they did a cover of Drake's Passion Fruit, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
Was hoping you
So
couldn't call me out on that because I literally just saw that earlier today, and I was like, "Damn!" Like, it's so good though.
it's so good. So maybe down the line, like a progressive kind of like Chon or
Yeah,
like Polyphia version of that. That would be
right
sick.
on, man.
Maybe. But next question, Lucas. Favorite food to eat?
It's forever between pizza and Mexican food.
Ooh.
My two loves. Like, I can't pick one over the other. I literally just had pizza last night. like, I have so much love. Like, when I went to Toronto last week, there is the bombest burrito
Oh,
places
dude.
all over the place. It's so hard to say no. So
Dude.
yeah, definitely a
Dude.
toss up between those.
I'm trying to make my way up to Toronto like in August, so I'm like, so if you gotta give me the lowdown on that burrito place
And
because
I will
uh,
hook you up.
I'm a burrito loving fiend, dude. I love burritos so much, man. Oh man.
And
Next question, Lucas. If you could pick somebody to collaborate with, who would it be?
Um, well, I'll give you an interesting one.
Okay.
As far as like outside of the genre, there's a producer called Flying Lotus.
Okay. Okay.
I would love to just like record some guitar tracks and then give them to him and see what he would cook up with them. I think it would be so trippy and weird. If you're not familiar, you should definitely check out his stuff. But as far as like my own future music, I mean, like, I actually had Patrick from Reflections.
Oh, sick.
He plays on a song on my EP, and he fucking kills it. I have a buddy Jorge who plays in a band called Deeply Woven.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of those guys.
He's posting in all like the Facebook kind of music groups, and he's just an absolute monster. And he has two solos on my album.
Oh, sick.
So it would be a mix between like working with some like smaller artists that are amongst my level. Like there's a band called, I think it's Ami, AHMI.
Okay.
My buddy Sean plays in that band. You should definitely look them up if you haven't heard them. They're awesome.
Sick.
And then on the bigger side of things, obviously like Aaron Marshall would be
Yeah.
huge. Like Mario, Eric, like those
Yeah.
guys are so sick. Like any of my influences really would just be like a pleasure to work with.
I totally agree because that's like those guys are killer at what they do. So I would totally get down with that. But
They have such a distinct sound to their playing. Like when you hear them, even like their one feature on that one Polyphia track, you just know it's
yeah.
an Eric right away. But the thing is too, like these smaller guys that are breaking out in our genre, I'm trying to like stay connected to what they're doing because they could easily be
Be the next
big
band.
thing. Exactly.
I totally agree with that. I feel like this genre is starting to like be on the come up in terms of like
Yeah.
newer artists, like things that kind of like mishmash those different sorts of genres. I think like next, even like the end of this year to maybe next year might be like kind of big. So, but next question, Lucas, if you could play another musical instrument besides the one you played now, what would it be and why?
I love this question just because like there are practical ones and
There's some really like.
ridiculous ones.
How
Like
about you give me one practical one and one ridiculous one?
okay, so like I play guitar, so I feel
Okay.
like that kind of connects to like bass and piano. So I would choose drums.
Ooh.
Um,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
I've programmed my drums for all of my solo stuff, but I do not have that kind of coordination. So practical one would be drums. Impractical one. Hmm, let's go with like didgeridoo.
Oof.
I'm just kidding. I had a girl from my hometown in London play violin on
Oh,
my,
sick. Okay.
and her part literally is like one of my highlights of the album. I think it's so beautiful. So maybe like violin or something like that. I think it's such a pretty instrument.
Oh, I totally agree. I feel like it just like adds that sort of like classiness to the
It
track.
sings, man. Oh, maybe saxophone.
Ooh.
Maybe saxophone. I'm really trying to find a sick sax player for my release. So anyone out there, if you play saxophone, hit me up. I have a sick part for you.
There you go. Get at Lucas if you know how to play sax. I think I might know someone, so I'll have to hit you up later about it.
Sure, that'd be
But
sick.
next question, Lucas. I don't know how big of a video game fan you are, but if you could be a video game character, who would it be?
Um, maybe just hop in Dark Souls and just die a bunch of times. I fucking love those games. I wouldn't last long though, so I won't choose that. I don't know. Maybe hop in some Fallout and like explore the wasteland.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be sick.
That was the last one I really was obsessed with, and I mean like obsessed, like to the point where it's like, damn, like if I ever want to start playing guitar again, I should stop playing this game. Oh man, yeah, let's go with Fallout. That'd be fun.
Dude, I know the same feeling. Like, I mean, I don't play Fallout, but I can imagine that is like, that is on like the same level as like those sort of just just games that you know you'll just get like sucked
Yeah.
into.
See, like my roommate, he's big into like the competitive gaming side of things,
Oh,
like
sick.
into the Overwatch. He's big into Battlefield, and I feel like if I gave myself the opportunity to get addicted to those, it would be game over.
Yeah.
Like at least with single player games, I have the ability to just like be like,
I'm
okay,
done. I'm done. Yeah.
like I don't need to build any more houses in Fallout. I'm done.
That's so true though. That's probably the realest thing I've heard on an interview
Straight
in a
up.
while, but that's so true. Next question, Lucas. In your opinion, who puts on a great live show and a favorite show that you've been to?
Okay, well, literally, like I can't bring them up enough. But having seen Sean last week, I had a buddy ask me how their performance was, and I kind of likened it to like watching professional athletes play because they were just flawless, man.
Oh,
Like
true, true.
they're not hiding behind any distortion. They're it's just completely clean tone the entire time, and there's still no mistakes. Like they're monsters. But another really cool performance that stands out for me, I'll give you three.
That sounds good.
So I saw Kendrick play at a
Oh,
festival
sick.
2 years ago, and he had this whole backing band. And at the time, it was the To Pimp a Butterfly album cycle.
Oh, dude.
So a lot of those songs are kind of like orchestrated with a live
Yeah.
band, anyways. So it was half of that and half of his older songs reimagined with the band. And obviously, us being fans of this genre, we look for technicality when we see bands play, but you don't really expect it from like a Kendrick show.
Yeah.
His band like blew a lot of bands that I've seen out of the water.
Oh, sick.
Such tight musicianship, you never would have expected it. Um, as far as like heavy bands go, because that's still like a big part of my life too. There was a band I'm sure you heard of, Structures.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That kind of influenced the whole like heavy side of my performance, even like songwriting too. And I'm happy to say like those guys are good friends of mine now. Like it's really cool having like come up with them because they're just from Toronto too,
Oh,
right?
sick.
Like,
Yeah.
I've seen them so many times, and so their live show was perfect every time. And the Fall of Troy, back when I was in grade 11, like one of the very few times in my life I've actually been starstruck watching that band and getting to meet them. But yeah, that was a crazy show too.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Fall Out Troy is it's still been on my list of bands to see. Just for some reason, I've like missed out. But if they do like a 10 year of like manipulator or like
See,
doppelganger,
that's what they're doing now, man. They're just like every time they get a show, they're just like, okay, we're just gonna play Manipulator in
oh
full.
my god,
It's like,
like
how am I missing this?
yes, it makes me so mad. So Fall of Troy, if you just happen to see this by chance, please just do like a full tour of like doppelganger or like manipulator. That'd be tight. I like that.
Lit.
Yes, it would be lit.
Very
Exactly.
lit.
Speaking about lit, if you could have a dream tour, who would be on it?
Am I playing or am I watching?
Whatever you feel. What do you think?
Oh, there's so many variables to that. If I'm playing, if I toured the states, I would have Deeply Woven
Ooh, okay.
open for me. Um, Literally, they're so awesome. If you haven't checked out their stuff, you really should. I can't rep them enough. If I'm going to watch, it depends on the genre too. Um, hmm. So if I'm going to watch, I almost got like part of the Dream Tour last week with Covet and Chon. Maybe like throw intervals playing their new stuff in the mix.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Save Us from the Archon is like another big one that I really want to see. Um, yeah, that's a good question.
Ooh, that's a solid tour though. If you put like Chon, Covet, Intervals, and Save the Archon on
That
like one
would
tour.
that would literally melt your face off.
It probably would. I wouldn't like the world would just stop moving. The Earth would just that would be it. It would be over.
The amount
So
of notes played at that show would just be insane.
that's so true. Like just solos, all that stuff. Man, that might be a thing.
Yeah,
Hopefully, who
yeah.
knows?
Let's hope, man. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, next question, Lucas. Favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Um, Favorite movie is tough. I like Superbad.
Ooh, yes.
Superbad's a classic. Like, love
Yes.
those like 2006 like Judd Apatow era movies. Like 40-Year-Old Virgin. Like
Yes.
that just kills me. As far as TV shows, my favorite show is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I saw like Danny DeVito like in the
His,
back.
his head like
Yeah.
that's what I have to look at every night when I go to sleep.
Oh, that's great.
That works. I love Breaking Bad.
Oh, nice.
I was like, oh, that was one I really connected with. I love that show. Black Mirror, actually,
Ooh, okay, okay.
the last one that really impressed me. I was blown away by the creativity of that show. But my roommate's actually watching Narcos right now, and
Oh, nice.
that's
Okay.
pretty badass too. I won't lie.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. That show's kind of crazy. But anyway,
Crazy.
next question, Lucas. If you could only listen to one album for a month straight, what album would that be?
Hmm. Give me Newborn Sun by Sean.
Ooh, yeah.
I'll just go back to.
There you go. There you go. I like that choice. That one's a solid one.
Just easy.
It is. It's easy, and you can like listen to it and not get really tired of it because it's like it's got like heavier tracks. It's got some of the like
Yeah,
more
man.
melodic tracks,
Exactly.
so it's a good
Um,
mix.
Even like I don't know, man. Like I grew up listening to a lot of like Alexis on Fire, like
Ooh.
Canadian classics. So give me one of their old records, and I'll be happy.
And lastly, Lucas, tell them about your solo music. Tell them what you got coming up, and anything else you want to talk about.
Hey, so I'm very stoked about my album that's being released. Maybe by the time this interview is out, it'll be released. When I first entered the world of writing solo music, I feel like I tried to just like throw shred everywhere I could. Just like, oh, this could use like two random bars of super fast tapping for no reason. Like, this could use sweeps. Like, I tried to go all over the place with it. And for this upcoming project, I really tried to create a vibe with each song. Just like simple song titles that relate to the atmosphere that I try to create for each song. Um, Even with the sacrifice of dialing back the shred for some parts, and don't get me wrong, like there's still riffs on this thing. Like there are many, many notes, but I kind of took the opportunity to just create a vibe or create an atmosphere based on how I was feeling when I wrote the song, and that's super important to me. And that's what comes into play with like having different musicians come in and contribute. Even like the violin player I was talking about before, like her contribution just creates this beautiful soundscape. And yeah, man, that's really what I'm going for. It's hard with instrumental music, especially with people that aren't familiar, just to be like, so like there's no,
There's no vocals.
like, when the vocals coming in, like, and I like one of the things I admire so much about all these bands we've been talking about is that people that don't listen to our genre can be like, damn, this is sick. Like, I fucks with this. And that's what I'm trying to bring to the table. Like, just something that if you don't listen to our genre of music, you can still be like, okay, like, I get where he's coming from. I could listen to this while I'm, like, driving or, like, while I'm, like, chilling with friends. Like,
Yeah.
that was really important to me. So the album is called Alone in Company. 7 songs. 7 songs. Um, has amazing guest musicians on it. Patrick from Reflections, Jorge from Deeply Woven. It'll be on Bandcamp. It'll be on YouTube. So anyone watching, please feel free to check it out. If you dig, come find me on Facebook. My page is Lucas Martin Guitar. And yeah.
There we go. Well, definitely go check his stuff out. go subscribe to him. There will be a subscribe thing at the end of the video, so definitely go subscribe to him. Also, check out his other stuff. I'm sure he'll have like other things coming along, like
Oh yeah,
playthroughs and things. So definitely check back with his channel. Make sure you go like his Facebook page. Make sure you're up to date with his stuff. I think for me, when I listen to instrumental music, I want to see like if a melody kind of imitates like vocal melodies, like lines
right.
and stuff like that. So I feel like if you can accomplish that, I feel like to me that is definitely a home run in my book. So
That's the goal,
I'm
man.
I'm
Absolutely.
definitely stoked to check out the rest of the album. I will definitely be putting out a review of it and give my thoughts on it.
You're
So,
the man. Thank
so
you.
definitely check his stuff out. Go give him a subscribe, like I said. If you enjoy what we do here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit that like button for the interview as well. And if you enjoy this a lot, we have merch too as well. There's always a link in the description, so check that out if you are interested. And thanks to Lucas for coming on and chatting about his band.
You're the man, buddy. Thanks for having me.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, of course. If you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.